So that's it, Dr. Adigu. They're sharing some tips. I mean, it's a general conversation that has been going on. We hope to continue on that, especially this week. Send some message and see if we can get the attention of those in authority, not just the federal, but also for states, so we get a better outcome in H2, the 3.3% of IMF. We can even do better than that if we put our minds to it and are intentional policies and implementation of those policies, I think, is what we should be emphasizing. And of course, we do have the policies, we do have them on paper and all of that. Now, let's talk a little bit about, well, most of the time when you talk about banking these days, you're talking about recapitalization, but Sterling Bank begs to be different. They're talking about health and their collaboration with the Lagos state government. It's Ilera Eco Boots. That's their focus this morning, where they are considering how to contribute to the welfare of Lagosians, especially this morning. We have joining us for this conversation the Divisional Head, Education and Health Sectors, Obinna Okachuku from Sterling Bank. Thank you so much, Mr. Okachuku. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So you are interested in health. I thought you'd come on the program to discuss recapitalization. That seems to be what banks are looking at now. But we see you prefer to talk about health at this time. What's your interest with Ilera Eco?
We in Sterling Bank, we believe that the people we serve should be alive before we can actually serve them. So that's why health is actually a very important pillar of our strategy. We're partnering with Ilera Eco just because we're supporting the improvement of access to health and the quality of healthcare, and that's what Ilera Eco, the Ilera Eco Boots are about. It's about getting insurance, health insurance closer to people and driving down the cost of healthcare generally.
Yeah, so how does it work? We know you do have booths and all of that. How does it work? Tell us more about this collaboration.
Yeah, so, generally, when we talk about healthcare and improving access to healthcare, people say telemedicine is an option. But the challenge is that many people don't have access to these devices that would enable them access telemedicine when they need it. So what the Ilera Eco Boots is about taking the hospitals in quote into where the informal sector comes together. So you see people leave their homes and go to the market. And when they fall sick, usually they prefer to self-medicate in the market because if they leave their shops, they're not going to earn a living for that day. So we decided to bring with the Lagos state government to bring in booths into the marketplaces, into the, the car parks, so that when these people fall sick, they can go into those booths and access healthcare via telemedicine. So it's just sort of simple, bringing telemedicine to the people where the people actually coalesce, where they converge. And that's what we're supporting them to do. We believe that when these services are in very close to the people, they will access it rather than self-medicate. They will access it rather than allow their healthcare to deteriorate. And because we're a business supporting or enabling institution, we think that people shouldn't have to make a choice between their health and their business like they do today. People that earn on a daily basis, when they're sick, they actually stay in their business for so long that they deteriorate to a point where, of course, they probably lose their lives or it becomes very difficult. So today we're saying you can take care of your business where you can take care of your health, where you actually take care of your business so that your health does not deteriorate further, giving you a higher cost of care.
Do we know where these booths are, and do people have to pay for it? Who are the personnel that operates the booths?
Oh, okay. So these booths are centrally located in markets across the local government areas and the local council development areas of Lagos State. We plan to roll out 300 of these booths. 5 of them have actually come alive, and Others are coming alive in different areas. We've got health telemedicine partners. We've got pharmaceutical partners. We've got community health workers that will actually man these booths, enabling people to speak with a doctor or to get care when they need care. Now, to access the services in this boat, you need to be in an insurance plan. Now, I've always argued, and we've argued in Sterling, that the challenge with healthcare in Nigeria is not in quote, the infrastructure. We don't need to build more hospitals now. We don't necessarily need to build more primary healthcare centers. What we need to do is to fund people to be able to access care by buying insurance for them. So the social health insurance has to come alive, because if people have the ability to pay when they're sick, then that money would flow through the health chain and actually fund the infrastructure. So to be able to access this service, one needs to get on the Ilera Eco healthcare scheme. Of course, the policy on healthcare, current policy on healthcare, requires that everyone in the country and everyone in Lagos gets onto health insurance.
Mr. Kachiku.
With the health insurance.
All right, Mr. Okachiku, just hold your breath for a bit, because we really do need to see what you're talking about. We'll just take a short break. We'll be back. So just do hold on. You'll give us more details on, how people can reach it and how it works. So we'll just take a short break on the program, Mr. Okachiku, just a minute, and then we'll be back to continue this conversation. High cost of living marked the 2024 New Year celebration, a trend which started in May 2023 when President Bola Tinubu announced the removal of petrol subsidy and unification of foreign exchange rates. While these pronouncements have been applauded by international bodies, the consequences have been described as harsh on the people and the economy. Unfortunately, the trend persists through the first half of the year, with macroeconomic data capturing in some cases a worsening situation. For the Naira, it was tagged one of the worst performing globally in the first half, after losing about 40% to close at 1,510 Naira for a dollar. The bright side for Nigeria was the capital market. The stock exchange market recorded a return of over 33%, driven by renewed investors' confidence. For the fixed income market, investors enjoyed yield as high as 27.33% on treasury bills in March and 26.76% on bonds. This, however, means a ballooning debt for the federal government and a concern at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry's mid-year review and outlook.
The debt has increased. Our labor productivity and factor productivity has flatlined. In other words, we are borrowing more than we are increasing our productivity.
Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
With a surging inflation at 34.19%, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria continued its hawkish stance, and monetary policy rate was raised to 26.25% at its May meeting. This made it about 750 basis point increase in the first half.
This is not something that is a one-size-fits-all and you'll expect, to continue like this. To the extent that the right policies are used, and obviously with the results we've seen, the right policies are being used, I believe that in the not too distant future, things will begin to moderate and interest rates will come down.
Falling Naira meant bad for businesses. 5 multinationals have had to either divest or exit the country in the period.
A lot of the big IOCs, of course, are exiting Nigeria for their reasons, but they are not leaving Africa. In fact, let me put it that way. A lot of the IOCs are leaving the shallow and the land and going deep offshore in Nigeria, and also invest in other parts of Africa.
Attention then turns to the oil and gas sector, which remains the country's mainstay for revenue. At production hovered about 1.2 million barrels per day for the period, below the 1.5 million target. Crude availability was a topic towards the end of the first half, led by Dangote, as it promises PMS supply from August. Local refiners accuse international oil companies of jeopardizing their efforts towards energy security.
The NUPRC has intervened by asking the guidelines are published.
This guideline, it makes it clear. It makes it a willing seller, willing buyer scenario, and then also it makes it clear that both parties are free to deal with themselves. So it's not as if it's coming from the government equity; it's coming from the crude producers themselves. So yes, it will make supply of crude a lot easier.
There's never a pause in time or the running of the economy. So the second half of the year is already on, with high expectations from Nigerians following the intervention by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission that international oil companies will publish a domestic crude supply obligation guidelines. And this may ensure crude supply to domestic refiners. There's also the newly agreed minimum wage of 70,000 naira. On the other side, there's 150-day import-free policy on grains. There's the reform withholding tax policy for small businesses, implementation of AFCFTA, as well as expected activities from the newly created Ministry of Livestock Development. Then, governments may also need to turn attention to the debt stock, which, according to the Debt Management Office, has a portfolio for the public debt over 121 trillion naira. A worrying fact, since for the first time in Nigeria, debt to GDP ratio has crossed the 50% level. People are still waiting also for the much-promised benefits of the economic reforms, which started with the President Bola Tinubu's administration. I'm Ini John Mekwa, reporting for Channels Television News. So there you have it. H2 is upon us. But I will just continue where we stopped. We still have Mr. Kachuku with us from Sterling Bank. Thank God we do have you on video now. I guess the break was a necessary one. So you were telling us before we took that break, Mr. Kachuku, on how people can participate, what are the requirements, and where they can actually access these booths, these health booths.
So, like I said earlier, thank you for having me back. The health booths will be distributed across 300 locations in Lagos State, across all Lagos Council development areas and the local government areas, in markets, selected markets, and motor parks. Now, to be able to access this, one needs to jump on the standard JARA plan, which was also launched, the National Health Plan. With that plan, you can actually access the care in these booths. And we've made it so simple that the plans can be paid for every month. I think it's as low as 1,200 or so. I'm not too sure currently, but we will also drill it down to the point where people can access this care by paying very little every day, maybe 50 naira, 60 naira every day, just because we need to make this accessible to everyone. And like I was saying earlier, the only way for us to get sustainable care in Nigeria and in Lagos and in Nigeria is to ensure that whatever we design in healthcare is directly connected to health insurance. Because without health insurance, there is absolutely no way to sustainable healthcare in the country. And that's what LASHMA is doing. That's what the Standard JARA plan is all about. That's what the Ilera Eco board is all about. It's saying if you have access to health insurance, then you can use these boats wherever you are. So we're trying to encourage people to get this health insurance. So you can get the health insurance from the boats. If you go into the boats, you can get online when you go on LASHMA websites and on their partner websites. And we have made it so easy for everyone to be able to pay for it and to be able to afford it.
So this partnership, how long is it for? Is it something that you later hand over to the state government to handle, or what's the future plan for it?
So we're in this for the long haul. So long as Sterling Bank is alive, we will be partnering the government and different state governments on things like this. We believe that, you know, government changes every time. So 4 years, 8 years, you have government changes, but you've got the private sector standing all through. So we will continue to partner the government in this scheme. We are not leaving. We're not handing it over 100%. We'll keep bringing in all the private sector partners, like we're working with telehealth partners, we're working with pharmaceutical partners, we're working with community health partners to ensure that these booths are live and running. The government provides the policies, the government provides the health, social health insurance scheme, whilst we as a private sector, we bring in our own expertise. We also, as a financial institution, like I said earlier, make it easier for people to afford these plans by paying very little sums in line with what they earn. So we don't think we will ever decouple this union, because the union will require the union, the consortium, to make this, to keep this running sustainably. So we're in for the long haul.
Yeah, and it's not just this. I think you also have other projects, the contactless fair payment cards and all of that, apart from this health. Is that also in collaboration with the Lagos State government?
Yeah, yes, of course. So in Sterling Bank, just to give you a bit background, our focus is on things that affect human beings, the real people: health, education, renewable energy, transport, and agriculture. So they're the main 5 pillars where we try to serve people. We believe that if we enable the lives of people that we're trying to bank, then banking can actually, one, be impactful and be a lot more sustainable. And that's why you see us partnering the government in both fair pay, in the LASRA card. So with the LASRA cards, we're the ones partnering the government, and we're making it available. We're supporting, because we believe that if the government needs to do social interventions, then it has to be sort of methodical. It has to be logical. You need to know the people. So the LASRA ID cards help people to make payments and to receive benefits if they ever need to receive benefits from government. Same with transport. The card helps you with your transport. We've partnered in Fair Pay. We have done a lot with a lot of governments. I remember the first time we ever had a drone technology that distributes health consumables to hard to reach area. We were the partners with the providers supplying that. We actually signed. We were there at the commissioning in Kaduna State, and there are a lot of things we're doing in Bayelsa, in what's it called, in Cross River, in a lot of places, just trying to ensure that on health, energy, transport, agri, food is available to the lowest set of a cadre of society. And this is what we've been doing for a long time. I think it's just coming to fruition that people are beginning to see this. And we haven't started. We are just beginning, because we intend to partner every government, at whatever level, whether it's local, state, or federal, to ensure that these basic needs get to the people, whether it be health, whether it be education. In education, we've done a lot. I remember when I was talking to, it wasn't you, when I was we were talking about the education student loan schemes, and I said that Sterling Bank had already started giving students loans to study, and they graduate and they start paying. So it's something we've been putting our monies where our mouth is, and this is what we're all about.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Okachukwu. Interesting there, Mr. Obinna Okachukwu, Divisional Head, Education and Health Sectors. Thank you so much, and well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.